Hello, neighbor and fellow Veemers. Welcome to Video Marketing Made Easy. Let me ask you a question. Are you feeling overwhelmed by how many organizations are in your niche online? Niche or niche? 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 How are you supposed to stand out from the crowd? Well, would it surprise you to hear it's something you might have learned from Mr. Rogers? Mr. Rogers ended every episode encouraging kids to embrace their authentic selves, and that applies to businesses and nonprofits too. There may be a ton of other companies and organizations who do what you do, but if you look at it from the consumer standpoint, with so many options, which one will they choose? Well, they're going to choose the one that resonates with them. And the best way to help those people to find you is by defining your unique brand personality and letting it shine through in every aspect of your marketing. Now, before we continue, let's just put it all out there. We're starting out, so if you like us and want to see us continue to put out more content like this, please help us by hitting the like, subscribe, the bell notification, and type "more soup, please" in the comments. There's really no reason for you to type that in the comments. I just think it'd be really funny and it would tickle me. But at the very least, just hit like and subscribe. Okay, let's go ahead and begin. First off, identify your brand personality. So brand personality is like the personification of your brand. If you turned your business or nonprofit into a person, what would they look like? What would they sound like? How would they act? Now, if you're a solopreneur, it's easier for you because it's your own personality. Just make sure that you keep authentic because people are looking for authenticity. So try to keep your brand personality in line with your genuine personality. Sounds simple, but sometimes it can be a little difficult. So just make sure to keep that in mind. For a nonprofit or a business that has more than one owner, well, it can be a little more challenging than it is for, say, a solopreneur. But don't worry, help is here. I put a link in the description below to a YouTube video with a slide that has a bunch of descriptors that you could use to define your brand personality. Things like down to earth, sentimental, glamorous, and rugged. You could check that out for inspiration. Now, I thought of an example that maybe could help you. So we had a client who thought of a car that represented what they wanted their brand to be. Now, they described themselves as a minivan at first, and that was in the perception of the public. But what they wanted to do was change that perception to what they felt they truly were, which was a Prius. So you notice the difference where they're both vehicles, but one is a little more snazzy and cool, but not too hip and cool. It felt like the Prius was more in line with their brand personality. So here's a suggestion. Brand personality should be in alignment with the public personality of the executive director. Now I'm talking about for nonprofits. And the reason behind that is that your executive director is going to be the one front facing to the public. So if the personality of the executive director doesn't match what's out in your marketing and your branding and the writing, there's going to be a disconnect and it's not going to sound like they're coming from the same place. So make sure that they are in alignment so you have consistency there. Now, if this is making sense so far, which I hope it is, go ahead and write "got it" in the comments or "more soup, please." Either one. I love both of those, but I just want to know if we're doing the right thing. So help us out. Throw that in the comment section below. Next, you want to infuse your brand personality into your marketing. The easiest place to do this is with your writing style. So we're talking about on your website, social media captions, newsletters, ads, and brochures. You want to be specific with what type of word choice you use, like playful, snarky, formal. Use short, punchy sentences or long descriptive sentences with lots of adjectives. Since you've personified your brand, the goal is to write how your brand would talk. Now, a great way to test this out and make sure that you are writing the way you would talk, if you're an entrepreneur or the ED, go ahead and read the copy out loud to a friend and see if it sounds natural. That'll help you determine if you're on the right path. Other things to look out for are brand colors, fonts, graphic designs. The style should match your personality, which is why I'm wearing this hideous jacket. Now, Adjusting color on social media images and video editing could also be a great way to help. For example, using an image with muted colors and low contrast. That would give you a very different feeling from one that is, say, shadowy and super saturated. I put some links to some other YouTube videos in the description below. For businesses, I have a link to a video that has examples of 10 big brands with personality, like Lego, Nike, and IKEA. And then for entrepreneurs, if you Google personal brand examples, lots of stuff comes up. So go ahead and try that. Or you could check out websites of Rachel Rodgers, Jenna Kutcher, and Gary Vaynerchuk. Business coaches with very different personalities, and that can give you some ideas and give you perspective on how this works. Now, for nonprofits, I couldn't really find good examples, but we're going to talk about our personal experiences with our clients in the Q&A. And the Q&A is only for our private Facebook group. But if you're not in the private Facebook group and you want to join in on the Q&A, don't worry, it's absolutely free to join this Facebook group. You just got to go and click the link below in the description and join our group of band of merry men and women who are Veemers just like yourself. But what you can do if you're not able to join us in the Q&A is you can look at the business and personal brand examples and you can see how it can apply to you. Next week, we're going to get a little more into the weeds of how to create a brand identity. So today, we just wanted to kind of give you an overview idea of branding. And next week, we're going to go ahead and get into a little more details. Now, we want to thank you so much for joining us. Again, we could really use your help by liking, subscribing, and sharing this video. Again, if you want to join our free private Facebook group, link is in the description below. Otherwise, we'll see you next week on another episode of Video Marketing Made Easy.